Hi everyone, welcome to this video, and in this video I'll be showing you all the new upgrade to my handheld gaming console, that is Monoretro, on which I have been working on for the past few months. This is more of like Monoretro version 1.2, and I've done some major redesigns and I've also changed the form factor of how it used to look. Right now it looks pretty different from version 1, on which I've already created a series, a tiny series. This is how the new version or version 1.2 looks like. Its form factor is kind of reduced from the version 1, right? It's thinner as well. As you can see, it has got two ports. Soon I'll mention what these ports are for, and also I've got some tactile switches which makes this kind of satisfying sound. And as usual, I have put a tiny switch over here, like a tiny two-way switch to power it up. So let's start it. Let's switch it on. So this is how the screen looks. It's same as before, but this time I have given it a splash screen which says the name Monoretro and a tiny tagline below it, let the fun begin. This is the selector button, the red one. The yellow one is the fire button, or whatever action the game requires you to perform. And these are the control ones, like left, right, up and down. I have added one more game on which also I had created a video, Bricks, the classic Bricks game, along with Space Invaders and Pong. So if I just go to the menu, we have got three games. We have got Pong, the first one, then Space Invaders, and then we have got Bricks, right? So Pong and Space Invaders are pretty much the what I had done earlier in the version 1. So if I start this, yep, it's the same good old Pong. Space Invaders as well is pretty much the same, and the new edition is Bricks, the classic Bricks game, right? Coming back to the sports, now I have got a rechargeable battery inside. So along with a Raspberry Pi Pico inside, I have got a rechargeable battery inside which I can recharge using this port. And this is, for now I've kept the port of the USB port of Raspberry Pi Pico open if I want to ever flash the firmware. So I've kept it open, and I can charge the console using this one. So yeah, that is the upgrade I have done. It's pretty tiny now, but not that tiny also. It's definitely an improvement over the previous version. So yeah, in this video I'll be mostly talking about what changes I did and how I built it. So yep, as always, let's get started. So let's have a look at the components once. For the development board, I'll be using a Raspberry Pi Pico with a usual RP2040 chip. I've removed the header pins because it helps when soldering wires to it. For the screen, I will be using a SSD 1306 display module. It's a 0.96 inch display module. It uses I2C for the communication via the CL and the SDK pins. It's a monochrome display. And for the controls, I will be using these switches, these tactile switches that I got from Amazon. They make a nice clicky sound. And also I got these button caps which came as a set. So I've got 4 colors for the button caps: red, white, blue and yellow. So yep, these are the basic components. So these are the shell of the console, the outer covering. It comes in two halves, the bottom half and the top half. So both of these have been 3D printed in my room using my 3D printer. So the bottom half comes with 3 outlets or 3 holes. One outlet is for the tiny two-way switch for switching on and off the console, right? And the other 2 outlets are for the USB ports of the Raspberry Pi Pico, and the other is for the battery recharging module. The module will also protect the battery from backflow of current, right? So it's a battery protector circuit as well. This is the top half of the shell or the outer covering, and it has got the outlets or the holes for the switches and also an outlet for the screen. As you can see, I have created some elevation for the screen so that the screen nicely fits into the shell. So this is the two halves of the covering, outer covering. So this is how it looks with everything wired up with the Pi Pico. At this point I haven't yet connected the battery recharge module, right? So the connections at this point are pretty much same as that of version 1. I am using 6 GPIO pins for the 6 switches, GPIO pin 4 and 5 for the SDA and SCK of the screen for I2C communication, and everything is connected to a common ground. And once I put the USB in, it boots up. You can see the splash screen which I mentioned about earlier. At this point things might be a bit flaky because most of the wire ends are open and there might be some unwanted contact between the different components and the different wire ends. So the screen might come out to be a little flaky, but what I wanted to test out at this point is the screen is working, the different components are working fine, the switches are working, which it is. So I can control the menu, I can change the menu option, and we are able to load Space Invaders. It works as expected. So again, the screen is flaky as I mentioned, but the game is working as expected. Okay, so now next let's add the battery recharge module. So this is the TP4056 battery recharge module. It acts as a bridge between the Raspberry Pi Pico on one hand and the lithium ion battery on the other hand. So this is the lithium ion battery. So it charges the lithium ion battery and at the same time it protects the battery from any backflow current. So it acts as a battery protector circuit as well. And also I have now added a tiny circuit breaker switch, a two-way switch. So this switch sits between the battery recharge module and the Pi Pico. So now we boot the console using the lithium ion battery and it works as expected. So that's the complete circuit: the Pi Pico, the switches, the battery recharge module, the battery and the screen. So that's our entire console. So after this I put the entire circuit into this outer covering or into this inside this shell. So managing all the wire connections and putting all the entire circuit into this outer covering was a bit tricky, but I managed to do it anyways. So this is what the final product looks like. So yep, that was it for this video. Let me know in the comment section what games you guys want me to program next for this console. I would love to program some more games for this. I hope you all have enjoyed this video and see you all next time.